thank God that Mama's still praying for me right now. I am a firm believer. And this is not scriptural, but this is of my own opinion. That we do not know a love greater than our mother's love. It is the closest example that we have to understanding God's love for us. Now don't get me wrong, daddies. Amen. We love our children too. But there's something about the labor, the pain, the process, and about birthing and bringing a child into this world. Something that doesn't even yet know how to love, but you love it still. You care for, you depend, and their dependence is found on you. A mother's love. For all the diapers that were changed. Bless the Lord. All the late night feedings when Dad was asleep. Bless the Lord. Bless the Lord. And even if Daddy did manage to get one eye open, amen. There's something about a mother's love. You know, it reminds me so much how God loved me before I even knew God or knew what love was. Brought me into this world. Has walked with me every step of the way. It was Mother who pulled you close when you cried. It was Mother who soothed all your fears. It was Mother who was there to nurture you and care. There's something special about a mother's love. Can we celebrate mothers on this day? Can we thank God for the gift of motherhood? Amen. There is a word from the Lord. Tell your neighbor there's a word. There is a word from the Lord. Turn with me to the book of Acts, the 7th chapter. Acts, the 7th chapter. Amen. Now, I'm going to skip around, so I want you all to follow with me. Amen. Here at the sermon of Stephen in the 7th chapter of Acts, it reads, the high priest said, are these things so? And he said, hear me, brethren and fathers. Brethren and fathers. The God of glory appeared to our father Abraham when he was in Mesopotamia before he lived in Haran. Skip with me, please, now to the 8th verse. And he gave him the covenant of circumcision. And so Abraham became the father of Isaac and circumcised him on the 8th day. And Isaac became the father of Jacob, and Jacob of the 12 patriarchs. The patriarchs became jealous of Joseph and sold him into Egypt. Yet God was with him. And yet God was with him. God's word for God's people. May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my God, my Redeemer. I want to preach from the title this morning, Favor Ain't Fair. Help me preach it so that we don't keep you here long. Tell your neighbor, favor ain't fair. Now, if you've been favored by God, if you can look at yourself and declare that God has rested favor upon your life, then look at your other neighbor and tell them, favor sure enough ain't fair. Amen. Let's give a hand clap of praise for God's name. I want to deal this morning with the subject matter, the topic of favor. It is something that I believe there is a slight misunderstanding with as it relates to the people of God and our appreciation of it. My prayer is that by the end of this sermon, we will have a better understanding and an appreciation of what favor means and how it rests upon the life of God's people. Many times when we are asked by others, how are we doing, right? The good classic Christian response is, I'm blessed and highly favored. And although we say that quite frequently, sometimes I wonder, do we really understand what it means to be favored? And do we really walk in the understanding and the appreciation of being and what it means to be favored? I had the privilege on yesterday in the afternoon, in the evening, to attend a celebration. It was a celebration of a graduation of one of our own members' daughter. It was Vivian and Kurt Tisdale's daughter. She graduated from, I believe it was USC, with a PhD in biological sciences, and it was an awesome occasion. I can only imagine. No, I can't wait till the day, hint, hint, that my children come and we are celebrating the accomplishments of them receiving a doctoral degree. I can only begin to expect the joy and the fulfillment of having seen your child grow and accomplish what you knew came by hard strife and struggle. As they began to celebrate and the list of programs went, there was one who stood and declared to us the rarity of one who receives a doctorate degree in biological sciences. They listed that in the whole nation, there were only some 12,000 or better, barely, persons that received doctoral degrees in the field of science. They narrowed it down that in engineering and biology and biological sciences, that if you parse that number down just to females, you get down to about 1,000 or so. And then if you parse it down even more to African American females, the number was like a couple of hundred. It was just a reminder to us that this was quite an accomplishment for this not even 30-year-old young woman. And at that moment, I couldn't help but stand back and realize that this person had to be favored by God. You don't just come across doctoral degrees and not have the Lord help you along the way, amen. You don't go through that many years of schooling, that many testing. You don't write dissertations and do that type of research without the Lord being on your side, amen. But as she gave her remarks, she said a very interesting thing that I thought applied to the message today. And I asked her permission to use it in my preaching. As she stood there and said, well, you really don't have to call me doctor. My mama really didn't have to go through all this to celebrate me. I do want to say this. She said, the struggle is real. I said, oh my, how profound. She did not tout or stick her chest out. She did not say you needed to call her doctor. She did not tout the many awards that listed or the scholarships that she had received or any of the other things that will provide notoriety. She wanted to declare that the struggle was real. And then she said, I want to thank God for all the people that prayed for me. I want to thank God for all the people that were behind me. I want to thank God for all the people that pushed me when I wanted to give up. She said, because there were many times along the way that I said this was too much, I quit, I give up, I ain't gotta have no doctoral degree. But the people who were behind me, the people that believed in me, the people that knew what God had placed in me, they would not let me give up. They pushed me forward. You see, what she gave us is the true understanding of what it means to be favored. You see, the first thing that you got to know to be favored is that the struggle is real. I wish I had a witness in here, somebody that would testify that there is a flame and there is a fire and you had to go through it. I wish somebody would testify that there are some waters that will rise in your life. There are some storm clouds that will roll in, but that's when favor is found. You see, favor is not about you being better than somebody else. Favor is not you being better positioned or you being more worthy. As a matter of fact, favor is about the gifting, giving glory to God. Oh, hear me now. Don't leave without that. Favor is about the gift and the gifting, giving glory to God. You see, when someone asks the question, well, Pastor, what is the gift? You are the gift. Your life that God created you and gave you purpose, you didn't happen by accident or coincidence. Amen. God saw you before the foundations of the earth. God created you. God gave purpose for your life. And your life itself is a gift from God. Not only that you woke up this morning, but the fact that you're breathing, but even when you first have body or being, it is because God has given you the gift of life. When you understand that your life is not your own, you understand that God has blessed you with this awesome opportunity to do the work and the will of God, then you understand that even your mere existence testifies that God is with you. Not only the gift, but the gifting. There's purpose in your life. Amen. God has given us a multiplicity of talents, skill sets, gifts, and ultimately that we might perform and do and be exactly what God has called us to be. God brought you into existence because God has a mission, a work, and a will for your life. Favor is the understanding that God gave me this life and everything that makes me who I am, every gift, every skill set, every ability, every talent, it is all to be used to the glory of God. That's what favor means. Favor is the realization that not only is God with you, but God has given you everything that you are to include yourself. Amen. That's favor. Favor is the realization that God loves you more than you can ever love God. And when you establish that relationship and you grow in that relationship, that is the beginning of the unfolding of favor in your life. Many people don't understand favor. They think favor is about having material wealth. They think favor is about having possession. That's not what favor is about. Favor is about knowing that when ain't nobody else on your side, that God is on your side. Favor is knowing that God has already equipped you with everything you need because He knew you were going to need it before you even realized it. Tell your neighbor, that's favor. If I could tell the biblical script and the written, I'll take you all throughout history. We find here in Acts, in the Acts of the Apostles, it talks about in this 10th verse of the 46th verse in Acts, it talks about the favor of God resting upon people. Here in this sermon by Stephen, not only is he talking about Abraham and the founding of Israel, who was considered to be the nation that was favored by God, but really it's more about how and where the favor of God rests. Because even though it does tell the story from Abraham all the way to Joseph and on, it's really about how God remained with them no matter what they went through. That's what it's really about. He was telling the story that even with Joseph, his brothers got jealous, but the Bible read, but yet God was still with him. There are three characteristics that I want to lift up about favor. Three things about favor that we must know that we might appreciate and understand favor better. The first thing that we must know is that favor is unmerited. There was nothing special about Abraham. He didn't earn or deserve the promise that God gave him. favored him. There was nothing special about Jacob. As a matter of fact, Jacob stole a birthright from Esau. But God favored. He didn't earn it. He didn't deserve it. There was nothing special about Joseph. The reason why Joseph was liked so by his father is Joseph was still in love with his mom. It was nothing that he deserved or earned. It was unmerited. And I know there may be many that might say, well, I worked hard to get where I'm at. Amen. There may be some that say, I'm so intelligent. Amen. There may be some that say, I'm so smart. There may be some that say, I'm so beautiful. You're not the first beautiful, smart person. Amen. That can work hard. But you are where you are because God has had favor on your life. There are a whole lot of pretty, smart, hard-working folks that ain't never made it nowhere or life didn't amount to much simply because they didn't understand that all that they had, it came from the Lord. It's unmerited. There's nothing that you can do to earn it or deserve it. God has looked upon you and smiled upon your life. God has decided to be with you. God has offered and invited God's self to be a part of your life. Not only is it unmerited, but it is unaffected. You see, favor is unaffected. The fact of the matter is some people won't understand the favor of God upon your life. Not only will some people not understand, some people are going to be intimidated by it. Some people are going to outright not like it. The Bible reads that the patriarchs, the other brothers of Joseph, that they were jealous. But the fact of the matter is, whether we talk about Lot having issue with Abraham, whether we talk about Joseph's brothers having issue with him, whether we talk about all between Jacob and Esau, whether we talk about Haman and his dislike for Mordecai and Esther, whether we talk about those who didn't want to leave anything in the field for Ruth, the stories go on and on of people who had issue about favor resting in other people's lives. Why we gotta leave stuff for Ruth? Boy said, because I said so. And the fact of the matter is, in your life, what you must understand about favor is unaffected by others not wanting you to have it. Favor is unaffected by others not understanding it. Favor is unaffected by any issue that someone might have about how and the way God is moving in your life, because it's not for them to understand. In the same way, favor must not be unaffected because you can't hold an issue because somebody don't understand the favor of God on your life. I thank God that no matter where God has taken me, I haven't taken issue with people who didn't want me to be there. I thank God that He has given me the peace of mind and the wisdom to know that some people ain't gonna like you. Some people ain't gonna like for you to be there. I'm not preaching a conspiracy theory. I'm talking about how we must be moved to help those who even don't want to help us. I'm talking about the understanding that the favor of God rests upon you, that you might be a blessing to somebody else. If I could tell the biblical story, I tell you that favor has never been about you being better than somebody else. Let me repeat that again. Favor has never been about you being better than somebody else. Favor has always been about you helping somebody else. In the same way that you are blessed to be a blessing, God places favor on your life so that you can work God's will in the lives of others. Can I tell the story? Abraham's promise and him being favored, it wasn't for him, it was for his descendants. Jacob and God giving him the birthright and the blessing, it wasn't for him, it was for his son and the patriarchal tribe. Can I finish telling the story? After being favored and having beauty, wasn't for us to just sit high up on the throne, but so that she might be able to save her people from the death threat that had been issued for the entire Jews. Ruth wasn't favored simply so she could live and look and make Google eyes at Boaz. It was so that she'd be able to provide for her mother-in-law who was without provision. Favor has always been provided, not to show that you are better than somebody else, but that you could Not only was it unmerited, not only is favor unmerited, not only is it unaffected, but favor is also undeterred. Favor lets you know that no matter what, it's going to be all right. Amen. Amen. The scripture declares that all things work together for those who love the Lord and are called according to His purpose. Amen. And when we talk about that, many times I've glossed over, and I don't want you to gloss over. I'm going to come on down. Bless the Lord. I don't want you to miss that. It works together. You know, the thing about it, and the statement that is emphasized, you know, favor ain't fair. Tell you that favor ain't fair. You know, when we talk about favor not being fair, I think many of us want to feel like somehow we feel like we better off with somebody that ain't fair to them. But the fact of the matter is, that's not how favor isn't fair. Because when you think about it now, if you take a snapshot of any one of those stories that the Bible declares was favor, there are some unfavorable moments in that story. There are some times of difficulty, some times of struggle, some times where the struggle is real and the issue shown up get hard. But when you put them all together, you can see that God has been with you all along. You can look back over your life and see that God hasn't left you along the way. You see, the fact of the matter, the Bible says that Abraham was favored. The Bible said that Moses was favored. The Bible says that Joseph was favored. That Jacob was favored. The Bible says 9 times that Esther was favored. The Bible says that Ruth was favored. There's story after biblical story of persons that were declared to have the favor of God. And we say it and we look at it, but really have we looked at their life? Because I believe there may be somebody under the sound of my voice today who's struggling to know whether or not they're favored by God. And I want to confirm and reaffirm that yes, indeed, you are favored, even if for an instant it's not working out how you think it should or how you want it to be. I believe part of our misunderstanding of favor believes that everything is going to feel good and be right all the time. That's not favor. You see, favor is not in the beginning. Favor is found in the finish. Favor is not about just how many good opportunities you find yourself in. Favor is facing adversity victoriously and overcoming by your responses. That's actually the favor. If we look at it, when Abraham had to leave the only land he knew, and the only family he had to leave, the Chaldeans, right? I'm sure he said that it wasn't fair. You mean I gotta leave where I gotta go, God? When you go where I tell you to go. I'm sure that at some point Abraham might have declared that just wasn't fair. When him and Lot fell out and they had to separate and go their own way, and the only family that he knew and took with him and fell out with him, I'm sure at some point he probably looked at God and said, it's not fair. I believe that if we talk about, amen, Jacob and Esau, amen, and Jacob going and thinking he gonna marry one wife and work 7 years, to only find out that ain't the wife you gave me and I gotta work another 7 years. I believe if anybody, Jacob might have declared, this just ain't fair. I believe if we go a little further and we look at Joseph, and Joseph say, well, my own brothers picked on me and jumped on me. My own brothers threw me in a pit. My own just ain't fair. Then was forced to go into a nation that was foreign to her, where she had to beg and borrow and glean from the fields and bend over and pick up what was left in the fields. I believe at some point she could have declared to the Lord, it just ain't fair. And I wonder how many of us out here today are living in a moment in time, an instance, a snapshot in our own life where we want to declare to the Lord that it just ain't fair. The way they treat me, it just ain't fair. Where I'm at right now, it just ain't fair. The relationship I'm in, it just ain't fair. The job I'm at, it just ain't fair. How people treat me, it just ain't fair. Or what they said about me, it just ain't fair. What's going on right now in my life, it just ain't fair. But favor is not found in the beginning. Favor is found in the finishing, and those that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not faint. They shall walk and not get weary. I'm trying to encourage somebody today. The favor is on your life. For the same folks that we call, and the Bible declares favor, they'll tell you that it wasn't always easy. They'll tell you that they might have cried a time or two, that they probably fell to their knees in pain, and wonder, God, is this? Is this fair? Oh, if I was preaching right now, I'd tell you that on the Friday, it wasn't fair. That when darkness fell upon this earth, and they hung him high, and they stretched him wide, it wasn't fair. When they pierced him in his side, it wasn't fair. When they nailed him in his head, it wasn't fair. When he hung his head and died, it wasn't fair. But I can tell you, thank God for favor, because that wasn't the finish. Don't you let somebody in your story. Don't you let somebody write the end. It's not over till God says so. Because early one Sunday morning, he got up with all power in his hand, and that same resurrecting power, that same favor that rests upon Jesus' life, it rests upon yours. It rests upon yours. Favor is found in the finishing. You know, as we reflect now on Mother's Day, I believe pregnancy is the perfect example about how favor rests in the finishing. Yeah, that first trimester, you sick and throwing up a whole lot. You on close acquaintance with the toilet. Amen. Ain't fair. He just walking around like ain't nothing wrong. Oh, bless the Lord, it ain't fair. You didn't do this by yourself. It ain't fair. As your ankles swell, amen, and your feet hurt, your back begins to ache, your belly swells, you pick up weight. Amen. You crave stuff you ain't never even wanted before. Bless the Lord. It just ain't fair. And you start to get the Braxton Hicks, those what Scripture said in that 9th verse. That even though all this happened, yet